Hey, many of you know that we have year-round Bible studies here at Women's Life Fellowship, and one of the Bible studies we're doing now in our morning Bible study is trusting in the names of God. And as I was doing my weekly studies that I like to do along with the ladies, something just jumped out to me in a name of God that I really just haven't ever thought much about and really didn't know a lot about. And that name was Yahweh Sabaoth. And it's the Lord of hosts. Him being the protector and the deliverer, and our army that he has, that he's just back there supporting us and fighting for us. And so as I was reading through the passage of scripture that the workbook gave us to study, it was in 1 Samuel 17, and a phrase just jumped out to me and kind of how it applied to my life. And it says in verse, let me see here, I'm pulling my glasses, verse 41 in 1 Samuel 17. It was just a simple phrase that you maybe could overlook, but for some reason, maybe at the stage of life I'm at right now, it really jumped out to me. And this is a situation where David is coming against fighting the Goliath, the giant Philistine. And it said, the Philistine came closer and closer to David. And as I thought about that, I was just thinking about how sometimes we just feel difficulties and trials, and sometimes people just coming closer and closer to us. A lot of times what we think is just life happenings. And I know, I'm a sovereigntist. I believe in the sovereignty of God, but some things just happen and we know God allows those things. But then there's these times where it's like, man, everything is going wrong. This person has a problem against me, this financial problem, this health problem. And it just feels like the enemy is getting closer and closer to you. Well, let me tell you this, just like God did for David, and I'll read it to you in verse 45 of 1 Samuel 17. David said to the Philistine, and I want you to imagine yourself, Deanna said this to her enemy, you come against me with dagger, spear, and sword, but I come against you in the name of Yahweh of hosts, the God of Israel's armies. I just want to encourage you today that when you feel as if, and it may just not be a feeling, it may just be fact, the enemy is coming closer and closer, and it feels very oppressive to you, and it may be fear or anxiety or worry. You just feel it coming closer and closer. I want you to rear up and say like David did, you may come against me, but I'll tell you what, look what's behind me, folks. You're not just fighting me, you're fighting Yahweh Sabaoth, the Lord of hosts, and his armies are behind me. He's got my back. So just be careful, enemy, who you come to fight against, because you're not just coming against me. I've got a whole army of angels back there and the Lord on my side. Yahweh, Lord of hosts.